Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Today we are checking out another awesome German unit, and this is the BFE, or the BFE Plus. And basically what that stands for is Evidence Gathering and Arrest Unit, but more specifically they're counter-terror units. And they're basically created out of necessity after the 2015 Paris attacks. So I guess Germany felt that they needed a little bit more coverage, or that their police weren't as equipped as they would have liked. So they made these guys to assist the GSG-9 in the counter-terror duties. So they're relatively new units, again made in late 2015. But the videos we're checking out today are, one is a demonstration, and then another one is sort of like a montage video showing them their training, so we can get a good idea of what sort of equipment they have. Compare it to the GSG-9 that we've seen before. Compare it maybe to the UK's CTSFO. And it'll just be cool to check it out in general. Again, it's a new unit, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to have their stuff together, because they probably got it from experienced police force. And at the same time, whenever you make a unit now, you can look at what has happened in the past and sort of adopt their equipment and their tactics based off of all that historical reporting and everything. So yeah, the BFE. So let's check it out. Again, this first video is going to be like a demonstration. It's sort of them just, showing them how they can do drills and showing the general public what they would be used for. So let's check it out. I'm very excited to see this. Again, pretty new unit, so it'd be cool to see how they actually do everything, if they have any kinks that they need to smooth out or anything. Again, so this is like a coordinated attack like we saw with the Paris attacks. Is that a Volkswagen? Nice.
Wie einer der Täter das Feuer auf die eintreffenden Polizeibeamten eröffnet hat. Dieser wurde von den Polizeikräften bekämpft.
Now we can see he's moving out of cover here, which is interesting. It's generally not something you would like to do, but I think he just might be doing it to get a better view of where the bad guy might be. Because if the bad guy is able to target the dudes that he's covering, then that means that, if he was in that position, then he would be able to see the bad guy as well. But if he was behind the vehicle, he might not necessarily see that. So he might just be moving because of that, and he's just trying to make sure that he can give a little more body armor and lead protection doing that. So very cool. So again, this is very deliberate attack, and that's what these guys are based off of. They're basically responding to these deliberate attacks and trying to shut it down as quick as possible while helping the general public out. So they would be assisting the GSG-9. I'm not sure exactly where the GSG-9 would fit in, but it's cool to see regardless how they're actually doing everything.
Die übrigen Einsatzkräfte kümmern sich nun die verwundeten Passanten und versuchen, diese aus dem Gefährdungsbereich herauszuziehen.
If you guys speak German, definitely let me know what they're saying, because I've got no idea.
Evakuiert.
Dude, oh man. MP5 with the EOTech, that's pretty interesting to see, I guess, but MP5s in general are very solid weapons. You can see he's got the mag clamps, which is, honestly, I'm a huge fan of mag clamps. A lot of people would not recommend them, but it's so much easier just to slide that magazine over and get a fresh mag in. I'm a huge fan. A lot of people wouldn't recommend it. He's got looks like a Streamlight flashlight on his MP5. This dude's just got a G36, and of course he's got the EOTech. So again, their kit isn't like super high speed, and again, they are wearing black, which not a huge fan of. I don't know why they would make a unit nowadays wearing black, because again, targets are made black for a specific reason. They're very visible, and even in urban terrain, you wouldn't want to be wearing black just because people can see that, and if you're moving, they would see that black moving out of their peripheral vision as well. So interesting choice in the uniform, I guess. It looks badass though.
Hierzu gehört unter anderem das taktische Vorgehen gegen die Straftäter, die Einleitung von Erste-Hilfe-Maßnahmen bei
All right, looks like we're going to get some room clearing.
Und die Durchführung von Verfolgungs- und Evakuierungsmaßnahmen.
Okay, you can imagine these guys are going to be pretty aggressive with the room clearing, because you might have hostage situations that you might need to respond to. Okay, looks like they got a tourniquet on him.
Jetzt ist,
It's
dass
good
dieser
stuff.
unmittelbar in ein Krankenhaus verbracht werden muss. Ein Hubschrauber der Bundespolizei, der sich zufällig in der Nähe befindet, hat über Funk das Szenario mitgehört und bietet sofort seine Unterstützung an.
So I wonder if these guys are going to train specifically to try and get the person out alive. You know, it is based on the situation, of course. You generally, if the person is going to be a threat and if they're shooting at you, you're going to take them down regardless. But I'm wondering if some police actually train or prefer to get the person out alive as opposed to just, you know, waxing them. It seems like with US SWAT videos that I've seen, it generally doesn't end too well for the bad guy. But it's interesting to see when they would make that decision or that distinction to actually get the dude out of there. Obviously, if he's, you know, surrendering and what have you, it's probably going to be a situation like that. But yeah, I guess it's just interesting to think about, especially from the police perspective, because I'm all military, so I don't really think about that too much. Pretty cool equipment, though. Their vehicles are very unassuming, from what I've been seeing. I like their comm setup in the back of their play carrier, though. So again, they're going to be assisting the GSG-9 in some of these operations. So normally you probably wouldn't see the GSG-9 actually escort the wounded all the way until the helicopter. So these guys might be a little bit more available to do that as well and provide some cover, especially if the area still is uncertain or there might be a threat. So it's interesting to think about, you know, with a lot of other units, they would just pass off the wounded to the, you know, the EMTs or the police just to get them out of there. But it's cool that these guys are actually providing the security. So now we're going to move on to the next video. This is about 2.5 minutes, but this is all the motivational, you know, cool guy stuff. And from what I've seen, this is a pretty solid production video. You generally see these montage videos and whatnots, and they're kind of like iffy, and sometimes it's not even the same units. So hopefully these guys actually are BFE. If not, definitely let me know in the comment section, because that would be embarrassing. But these guys look pretty legit, and again, this production looks pretty solid. So let's check it out. Check their gear out. What in tarnation is that thing? What? It's like a freaking crazy police bus. I don't even know. It looks like a garbage truck, actually. That's pretty crazy to think about, that they would have something like that. What would the civilians think when they see this rolling in? Of course, you have to have all the dramatic smoke and whatnot surrounding it. But what the heck? I was not expecting to see that. I didn't even see that before. What the heck? It looks cool, though. It looks like a garbage truck, though. It's a big dude. Okay. So I didn't expect to see the whole hand-to-hand combat, but again, these guys are more specialized, sort of like a special forces in the police. So you can imagine they'd get some training like that. And then we also saw some of the military aspect of them actually doing the obstacle courses and whatnot, which is very good, especially if you're operating in an urban terrain. If you have people, you see a lot of US cops, they're just not made to actually do these sort of obstacles and go over this sort of urban terrain. But if you're going to be specialized in it, you need to be pretty solid at it. So it makes sense for us to be seeing them do that. Okay, there we go. I don't know how I feel about that, though. The whole jumping over the table aspect. Yeah, I get it. There's like civilians and whatnot here, but bro, come on. You're gonna jump over a table when you're trying to take a dude down? Probably not. Again, if you're trying to be aggressive, yeah, maybe. If you knew exactly where the dude was, maybe. But come on now. So they were using some non-lethal. So again, it looks like these guys are detaining them. Personally, not exactly sure when you'd want to go straight into detaining. I think generally you would hold off, clear out the room, and see what the threats are actually doing. Because if they do have a weapon, if they are armed, that's something you need to consider as opposed to just going straight for the detaining. But I mean, good violence of action for sure. You can imagine if guys are busting in like that, jumping over tables, you're probably not going to want to fight them. Okay. This is the evidence gathering part. I love their vehicles, dude. Okay, they're both putting their pistols away at the same time. I wouldn't recommend that, but it's funny how we can see this dude draw his pistol and then this dude's kind of like struggling. He was really struggling with that holster, but okay, so yeah, I guess someone's about to attack them. Again, wouldn't recommend putting their pistols away at the same time, but let's see how this goes down. Okay. It looks cool. We would do very similar training, especially when you do like pepper spray training. You'd get sprayed and then you'd do similar things like this. But, okay. Some baton warfare. I wonder what the other people are thinking. The drivers. What was that? What did we just see? She looks like she's out of a 40s horror movie. No offense, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so they had a weird combination of non-lethal as well as sort of more special operations sort of stuff. Now, again, you do have the normal GSG-9 that would be responsible for most of Germany's counter-terror forces, but these guys might just be used to assist them in certain things, so they're not overwhelmed with, lesser duties, I guess. So, like in the army, we have the special forces, but then we also have the Security Force Assistance Brigade, which is basically made to assist the special forces in taking over certain duties so they could focus on other operations. So it might be a very similar thing here where you have these BFE police basically made to assist the GSG-9 in certain duties and also just provide some general counter-terror coverage in certain areas where the GSG-9 wouldn't be as prevalent or just wouldn't be worth sending the GSG-9 to. So I'm not exactly sure where these guys actually stack up with the GSG-9, but it'd be interesting to see how they actually train together and see, what their training actually looks like when you put them side by side. But it'd be certainly cool to check out in the future to see how they actually change over the course of time and see if they start to implement certain things that we've seen with other units, especially like the UK CTSFO. Great example of, having that unit and then sort of molding it just based off of what's actually happening in the country. So it'd be cool to do a follow-up later on and check out how these guys are doing. But very cool to check out regardless. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for recommending this one. It's always cool to check out these new units. But definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Regardless, consider subscribing if we check out any other similar units, maybe the GSG-9 next if I can find a good video, or maybe get one translated. Again, if you guys can translate German, I would definitely appreciate it because I cannot speak any German and I have no idea what they're saying in these videos. So I'd very, very much appreciate that. But cool to check out regardless. Again, it's always cool to check out the gear. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I do hope you enjoyed. That is it for this video. I will see you all in the next one.